Lycans and gentlemen, children of all ages, nocturnals, night terrors, and all things that go bump in the night. Welcome back to yet another Mind's Eye Theater. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome you here, and welcoming you to your monthly treatment of shock therapy. The doctor will see you now. Show me your woes, and I'll cure all that ails you. Consider me your night watchman for this evening's festivities here at Mind's Eye Theater. I invite you to violate curfew along with me for this graveyard shift. I am your horror host, Inkarnate, for this sold out show. Boy, uh, I absolutely am excited for this one. I mean, even if I'm watching a bad movie, to be honest, I do enjoy these watch parties. But man, this one for me hits very close to home for what should be obvious reasons. If you're like me and you are an 80s kid, yes, I did grow up in the 90s, but I was born in the 80s. And I gotta be honest, man, I am over the moon for this one. This absolutely is one of my favorite movies having grown up. And I mean, and it there's a reason why after all this time, after all these years, it's still a classic. It's lasted the test of time. I'm of course talking about Beetlejuice and honestly, I am always weary whenever we get these delayed sequels, let's call them. But the fact that they got the band back together, people behind the camera, obviously Tim Burton, people in front of the camera, which would be Winona Ryder and obviously Michael Keaton. I'm thrilled for this. I'm happy to be doing this. I'm happy that at long last it has returned. It's on streaming because there are. How funny is it that this movie came to streaming before something like Longlegs did? But regardless, um, yeah, I'm thrilled for this one. This is one of those, like, quirky type of oddball, movies that I honestly wish we got more of. I would love to see, more of this, and with different kinds of, premises, with different kinds of concepts, just thinking outside the box, do something, yeah, quirky and out of the norm, something that people wouldn't expect, and we just got so much of that with the original Beetlejuice. So again, like usually, believe me, you'd be hard pressed to find someone who's more weary and worried, to be honest, about tarnishing the original's legacy and the like. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this one. Um, and like I said, I'm always thrilled beyond description to do these watch parties. It is one of my favorite live streams to do for my channel. But I mean, it's it's a rarity that we get something as special as uh uh I hesitate to call it by its name, Beetlejuice, but it's a rarity that we get something special like this. You know what I mean? Something that we actually genuinely care about, something that we may be cautiously optimistic for, but that's because we hold the original in such high regard. And frankly, we have seen the case where a film or franchise is tarnished because care was not taken by its handlers. So I have a little something that I affectionately refer to as the totem pole, which let's take a look at that now. These will be your options for whether you've seen the movie before or you're watching it for the first time. It can still serve as a means for you to participate in. So let's fire away. Your options are, if this decides to work. Oh boy, I'm having I was late with the watch party tonight just because man, it's nothing was going right. I could not get this to work properly. So one second, let me just see totem pole. Okay. Okay. So your options are bottom of the burial, shallow grave, or which should be obvious what I'm going with, high stakes. So I am, like I said, I mean, how could you vote against this movie? How could you give it anything less than that? I'm very excited to see what we have here on tap. And let me take a quick uh entry, and the totem pole will now be open for all of you fine folks watching along with me tonight. So, feel free to give some engagement. Unfortunately, as of now, it's only available on the YouTube chat, but I'll be giving reminders throughout the watch party in order to get all of you fine folks involved. So, let me take care of a couple of housekeeping items, and then we'll get right underway with our watch of tonight's festivities. So, oh, naturally, I invite you to stream the movie along with me. Queue it up on Max. Let me take care of the couple of housekeeping items. I am already late, so I do want to jump in and start the movie. And by the way, I actually did not watch this when it came out, so this will be my first time watching it, along with, I imagine, some of you. But um, this watch party is brought to you in partnership with Hotness TV. They are a proud partner with me. I'll be speaking to my business partner pretty soon. I'll be getting back to writing for the magazine. I actually do miss that. I have just been so busy with so many other things. Um Additionally, now that we're in the holiday season, if you're in the market for either Jabra headsets or Samsung devices, I do invite you to check the links in the description, because we actually have them as we have sponsorship links with them. So if you use those, it serves as a nice kickback for the channel, and it would be very much appreciated. The Mind's Eye Theater is a proud affiliate of the upcoming documentary Mental Health and Horror, which I do need to take a temperature check on that to see how that one's going. When that does come out, I plan to not only review it but do a watch party for it, which will hopefully go smoother than today's did. And if you'll note the support link up top, if you're of a mood, would be just your way of donating to the channel. I'll consider it your pound of flesh. So, the streaming service that we typically use, Streamlabs, was nice enough to give us our own merch store, which I would invite you to. And the link is in the description. We're coming to you live streaming on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Rumble, and Locals. So, in the enduring battle between Inkarnate and the almighty algorithm, my fans are my greatest weapon. Therefore, I humbly ask if all of you could get them likes up. Be very much appreciated. Therefore, without further ado, uh, I now offer you this creature presentation. Igor, throw the switch. And we are starting the movie now. Even though this is, let's see. Even though this is Max, let me see. Yeah. They do have an opening, what do you call it? Commercial. Oh wait, it's skippable. So skip and starting now. Perfect. So the movie comes in at a seemingly lean hour 44 minutes, which is great because boy, aren't we all tired of these long Marvel movies? I know I am. That logo. So we start things off with an interesting bit of trivia. Tim Burton wanted to start completely fresh when it came to this movie. So he didn't rewatch the original or look at any potential sequel scripts written over the years. God, I love that music. This is another thing that we're in sadly short supply of, like, iconic movie themes. Look at that. Incredible. Like I was saying, Tim Burton commented, I didn't even watch the first movie before I did this one because it didn't feel like it was going to help me. I just wanted to make this movie. In terms of the set design, I didn't go back and study everything. I wanted to make sure it felt new to me and more expanded without over expanding. It's an important balance to try to mix. See, this I would usually have a problem with, them, like, kinda rehashing this intro, but, I'm cool with it. I'll accept it, just so long as they don't abuse it, you know what I mean? And I'm also confident that and one thing I was, looking at while I was, doing my research for this watch party is that seemingly, they didn't go overboard and, how can I put it? They didn't go overboard, with too much CGI, which to me is important, you know what I mean? God, look at that. And, think about it really needs to be taken into account, like, all the, like, the little touches, because I think it really does need to be commended that, um, like, so much of this movie is iconic, and I absolutely love this movie for that. And, yeah, dude, I'm sorry to say that we genuinely just don't get that enough these days, and it's really unfortunate. Like, so many moments that you could just pick from, you have your pick of the litter when it comes to these types of, iconic imagery and just, um, scenes that you remember fondly. So, unsurprisingly, Lydia is here hosting her own paranormal investigation show called Ghost House, which was almost the name of the first movie, and screenwriter Al Gough told Variety, quote, "They didn't like Beetlejuice, but Tim, the director, really had to fight to call it by Beetlejuice." She runs into the Warrens from The Conjuring. I love it. God, really? Great touch. It's so stupid. Not a wink. So, according to costume designer Colleen, ooh, someone's traumatized. And this will be the lovely love interest, I assume. So, according to costume designer Colleen Atwood, the goth glam's host outfit that Lydia wears was inspired by none other than the mistress of the dark herself, Elvira. Atwood said, "We wanted to channel that kind of character for Lydia's TV show. I found that dress at a thrift store. It was this jersey dress, and I did some modifications to it, added some cleavage, and changed it up a bit." Oh, yeah. Such a charmer, this one. That and to live off of you. No. Truly a charmer. Just shoved. Jesus. My little puddin'. Oh my god, Deezy, chief. My god. So, the first film implied that the reason most living people don't see ghosts is because they subconsciously choose not to. This was referred to in the Handbook for the Recently Deceased, um, and it was pointedly vague on if they can't or won't. Lydia could see the Maitlands because she feels alienated and detached from from the world of the living. This film instead reveals Lydia as a psychic medium with the supernatural ability to see the spirits of the dead, and the Maitlands were just the first instance of her powers awakening. I'm so glad they brought her back too. Oh no. Wow. Way to break the news. What tact. Bird watching expedition. Yeah, this was a clever way of incorporating this guy's, well, I'm not gonna get into it. Uh-oh. Oh my god. Jesus. She has not skipped a beat. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, she hasn't skipped a beat. See, and this is what I mean, like, we're so deprived of, like, this how can I put it? Like, the stuff I don't wanna say, like, the stuff on nightmares or the stuff of legends, but really, like, look at how Signature and, you know uh-oh, who could that possibly be? Look at how, this is, already memorable, you know what I mean? And eye-catching. Which technically everyone would be, but okay. That liquid coming out of his lips is similar to his what he played with the role he played in the Penguin in Batman Returns, and that little sound he makes is similar to, again, the Penguin. I guess that's a double death? What in the hell is happening? Oh, Jesus. Incredible. So, according to website MovieWeb, talks of Beetlejuice 2 started right after the first movie hit the big screen in 88, which was actually, no, I'm sorry, 89. So many directors and writers had been attached to the project at one time or another, but nothing had gotten past the writing stage. For a while, it looked like the sequel was actually happening under the title of Beetlejuice Goes to Hawaii. Yikes! But it never went into production, luckily. Michael Keaton had expressed his doubts about Beetlejuice 2 often over the years, while Tim Burton seemed more hopeful, noting that it would take the right script to get it all together. In 2017, Warner Brothers hired screenwriter Mike Vukadinovich to pen a new version of the script, and this movie was actually filmed under the name Blue Hawaii. I think I remember reading that, Danny DeVito had, what do you call it? He had filmed this in about 4 days. Uh-oh. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. Gross. Boy, way to make an entrance. And here's our, I guess, second leading lady? I gotta admit, I'm not the biggest Jenna Ortega fan, not that I have anything against her personally, but, um, I've grown to have, like, much more of a respect for her. So writer Seth Graham Smith had been working on a script since 2012 for this. The Maitlands originally had a cameo at the end of the film, but Tim Burton felt no amount of digital de-aging would convince audiences that Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis were the same age as they were in the first film. Ouch. What? Jesus. Astrin? What? Wow, way to make it all about you, huh? What? Um, so Lydia refers to Beetlejuice as a trickster demon in the trailer. In the first draft of the original film, Beetlejuice was scripted as a winged monster. Well played. Oh, I didn't realize that she was traumatized over this. Damn. Ouch. Well, bish. Uh-oh. We got a live one here. Call manager, really? Believe it or not, I'll get to it in a bit, but believe it or not, all of these shrunken head guys, what are they called? Oh, Jesus. Ew. These are all practical effects. God, this really could not have gone to anyone except Tim Burton to direct. Guys, sorry I missed it. We just hit the 20-minute mark. If you could just remember to let me see, vote in the totem poll. That'd be very much appreciated. And no matter which platform you're watching this on, if you could make sure to hit the like button. I love that Willem Dafoe's in this, just pl playing Willem Dafoe. Uh-oh. There you go. Always deny. Uh-oh. Bum bum bum. Oh wow. They really they would really sing this at a funeral? God. And the headstone is a shark fin. Incredible. Oh god, I love it. So, the boyfriend or husband or whatever he is, when it came to Rory's unique look, which included his man bun, which actor Justin Theroux explained came about after he'd tried on various wigs until they zeroed in on what they were looking for with the character. Quote, Charlie Chaplin found his cane and his bowler bat. I found that stupid wig and it did so much work for me. Thoreau said, quote, we tried on a bunch of different wigs. We had sort of a black Fabio wig. We had sort of a mullety looking one. And then when they put on that particular, it was sort of a top piece that went on and had this bun hanging off the back. When we put that on, we were just like, "Oh, this is so stupid." And it made us laugh. I found that stupid wig and it did so much work for me. It sounds a little mean, but when my mom would bring back a boyfriend or something, that was sort of what I was thinking, what I was keying off of. Um, guys who are like, "Hey, what's up, little guy? Give me a hug. Let's bond." And you're being like, "You're the worst." Yeah, that and then we just thought it would be funny just to have a guy who's just completely codependent with Lydia and, in a totally toxic relationship. Ouch. Well, little miss, you deserve a timeout. Oh. Wow. Seriously? This is what's in the afterlife? Keep looking. Jesus, lady. Just gonna walk up to everybody like that? I love the deflation. Wha Of course. Corpse bride. I mean, that's what she is, as he monologues. So, in a forgotten age, shrouded by death and the plague, the tendrils of our depraved love story unfurled. This is based off of Mario Bava, if I remember correctly. I was a humble grave robber plying my trade amidst the corpses of the forsaken. My heart had long withered into the abyss, but destiny, like a phantom, cast its long shadow one cold, starless night. Her name, Dolores. From the moment I gazed into her cursed eyes, I was bewitched. From that moment, oh, I'm sorry. The ceremony was traditional. We drank each other's blood, bit the heads off of a couple of chickens, and sacrificed a goat. Our wedding night was a symphony of carnal pleasures, a macabre opera of lust, an untamed desire. But my new bride harbored a sinister secret. She was the leader of a soul-sucking death cult. She is still beautiful. Oh, sorry. Like a spider closing in on its prey, she was ready to strike. Uh-oh. Her quest for immortality demanded two things: my life and my soul. Hey, I'm into some freaky stuff myself, but even I had my limitations, so, well, we parted ways. Oh my god, incredible. This is what I mean, man. This could have only been handled by Tim Burton and no one else. They would have messed it up. Oh, the original house. See, it's little quirks like that and little, like, out of the box thinking. God, if looks could kill, right? Oh my god. Perfect response. So, Jenna Ortega first learned about the sequel a couple of days after the Wednesday dropped on Netflix. Tim Burton called her to come into his office to chat about Wednesday, and when she got there, he plopped the script down in front of her and asked her to play Astrid. Oh god. We all know people like this. Keep going. Gee, she's going in. Anything else, kiddo? Jenna Ortega shared that working with Tim Burton was totally different from working on Wednesday with him. Now that they'd known each other and worked together, she found that he was more playful on the set of this film. We hyphenated. Gee, that's wow. Transition, really. Tim Burton said that Jenna Ortega shares a certain quality which he saw in Winona Ryder when he was younger. Methinks not. I never saw Lydia Deetz with a resting bitch face. Oh my god. Wow. Publicity stunt much? Uh-huh. This guy's trying so hard. And you again. So, writers Alfred Goh and Miles Miller worked alongside Tim Burton on Wednesday, the show Wednesday. So, one day after filming wrapped, Tim asked them to stop by for a chat. Both assumed that something was wrong, but Tim asked them if they would be willing to pen the sequel script to this movie. Yep. Wow. What enthusiasm, right? This chick's gonna go throw up in her mouth. One thing that came up that I wanted to comment on regarding this movie was what I felt was the legacy. Um, Tim Burton has said that this film would only be made if Michael Keaton would return to reprise his role. Keaton said in March of 2014 that this is the only sequel he's interested in doing. Really? He wouldn't want to come back for another Flash movie? God, this town really did stay like exactly the same, which they were pretty surprised about upon returning. There were parts of the movie that were filmed in, I believe, England, but whoopsie. But yeah, for the most part, Tim Burton expressed how, lady, oh my, ow. Well, if women can't drive cars, it's not a shock that they wouldn't be able to operate a bicycle. So when Glenn Shaddix, the actor who played Otho, died in real life, he was so proud of his Beetlejuice fame that he actually requested the Banana Boat song be played at his own funeral. So this movie has a small choir that we saw singing the same song at Charles's funeral. Um, Winona Ryder had only one condition when she first met Stranger Things 2 creators Matt and Ross Duffer for a role they wanted her to play on Netflix, which we all know of. Her demand was if Beetlejuice 2 ever got off the ground, that they'd have to let her take a break from the series to film it, and they agreed. So shout out to her. Andy Radu, hello, where's Beetlejuice? If you go on to Max, that's what this watch party is for. Obviously, I can't stream it onto YouTube because I would get demonetized and flagged and all that crap. So let me see. One second. See how long we are so I can give you the timestamp. Oh wait, I'm sorry. If you're interested in joining, we are at the 37:45 second mark, 37-minute 45-second mark, about to arrive at 38 minutes. So you are welcome to watch along. And if you care, we're at 38 minutes right about now. I oh god. I love how they show not just dead people, but like trapped in the method that they died. I really like that about this. I love how he's narrating to himself. Really? Because you're not one? Was so stupid. So dumb. You keep me honest. Lovely. He's bricking his own office. That's his decoy. I remember seeing something like that in the trailers, and I was like, wait a minute, why is there a different. Uh-oh. Is he gonna use that to lure her? Yep. Wow. What are we at? We just hit the 40-minute mark. So guys, if you could remember, no matter which what do you call it? No matter which which platform you're watching this on, make sure to hit the like button in order to circulate this. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to vote in the totem poll what your film rating is for this watch party. So Catherine O'Hara, excuse me, who plays the stepmom, she had 6 custom wigs prepared in a light copper color by an in-house wig maker. However, makeup artist Christine Blundell said O'Hara was all in when it came to returning to Delia's original red hair, which ultimately led to a whole night of coloring the wigs up to a vivid red and cutting them into styles. Well, someone's Miss Sourpuss. One would think that she'd like Lydia would be like terrified of the house in general, or at least warn people, but then we wouldn't have a movie, right? So both Michael Keaton and director Tim Burton opted to keep the character as politically incorrect as he was in the original film due to their love for that character trait in spite of the political correctness in modern films because quote, he doesn't evolve. And amen. When I was reading that bit of trivia, I was hoping they were gonna say that they kept him politically correct because of how politically correct culture has become. Another reason why I love movies like this is I cannot help but feel like we have such a dearth when it comes to PG horror or dark fantasy. And I think that the genre is less for that. I always refer to PG horror or dark fantasy as the gateway horror. Aw, cute. Gee, what a shock to see in a modern movie, like veneration for male loved ones. No, it's mine. In your face, kid. Um, Interestingly enough, Tim Burton and Michael Keaton didn't rehearse before going on set, like, at all. Jesus. What? Incredible. Um, so Jenna Ortega revealed that I'm sorry, I don't think I got this out. Listen. Anyway, um, like I was saying, uh, Tim Burton said Michael Keaton didn't rehearse before going on set. Ouch. There you go. There you go. Jenna Ortega revealed that she actually met Michael Keaton for the first time when he was dressed up as the titular character. Quote, "He came up behind me. I was getting a hair and makeup test. Uh, and I got a tap on the shoulder and I turn around and it was a jump scare for sure." She told Jimmy Fallon. Quote, "He was like, 'Oh, hey, I'm Michael,' and he had molds peeling off of his face. I played it cool," she said. When Beetlejuice bombards Lydia's phone well, we'll get to that. Afraid not. Yeah, you seem to miss her so much. Um, so when it came to Beetlejuice's iconic white and black striped outfit, Colleen Atwood built a new one for him. She made it moldier to reflect his time in the afterlife and aged it a bit more. Atwood said, "He's a little seedier and he's a bit older. When I first met Michael, he was in really good shape, so I said, 'We're giving you a stomach.'" She said, adding that the character had probably been sitting around doing nothing all that time. I actually bartended my companies where I work, our Halloween party, and I was also in charge of, what do you call it, like, decorations and whatnot, and I ordered a off of Amazon, a pillow plush of the Book of the Recently Deceased, and, like, I was hoping, like, no one was gonna, like, notice that and like it and take it home with them, but they did. I was hoping to take that home with me. So I missed this trivia note before, but when we see the backstory for both Beetlejuice and Dolores, Dolores's backstory is an extended reference to Black Sunday from 1960, complete with black and white cinematography and Beetlejuice inexplicably narrating it in Italian. So the director of that film, Mario Bava, later is name dropped, and another of his films, Kill Baby Kill, is, mentioned as Richard's favorite movie, and Lydia went into labor with Astrid while they were attending a Bava marathon, which she just which that scene happened before. Tim Burton said, "Beetlejuice's backstory all stems from desire and love of wanting to make an Italian horror film, so I ticked that box off," Burton says. Maybe it's 'cause Monica Bellucci's Italian and I always wanted to make an Italian horror film that it took on this tact. Um, this came very late in terms of Michael and I's conversation about not wanting too much Beetlejuice. He continues, "I grew up watching dubbed movies, which is a part of my DNA. So for me, it was a special personal approach to telling my backstory, trying to recreate the vibe of a 60s Italian horror film was important. So Harris Zamborlucas, the cinematographer, and I tried different filters and things to achieve it live. We built sets, we shot the whole thing in a day. It was shooting it quickly, shooting it with sets, probably not far from how these films were shot. Uh-oh. So what we just saw when Beetlejuice bombarded Lydia's phone with ads, one of them says that he puts the fun in funeral. What a dick. They drop a lot of S words in this film. She's dressed in a schoolgirl. God, he looks like an Otho type of character. The eye work, the eye movement in her is hysterical. Bioexorcist. I This is a spoiler, but one of these days I do want to make a video on my channel as a shout out to um Winona Ryder because she's always stuck close to horror, and I think that that should be commended. Oh my God. Couples therapist. This is great. What the hell? Okay. Couples therapy. Nice. What the hell? That's freaky. Wow. Oh my god. Oh my god. My dude. Oh jeez. They are throwing so much at the screen. Nice. Did she leave without her fiance? Oh my god. Jesus. See, this is a way to use music in like hysterical ways that just often gets overwhelming. Oh my god, I'm lightheaded from laughing so much. Mm. Um, what I missed before, the um to to accomplish the effect in the scene where Dolores staples her face back together again, Monica Monica Bellucci was made up with the staples. So the effects team would do a clean and reveal or paint them out and reveal them on as she's stapling. She would go through the motions, but it would be all there. Occasionally, they weren't there. Occasionally they weren't there, and they had to track them on. They would have a few discrete markers on her face, but it was all quite low tech. Like I mentioned before, Rory was inspired by Otho, Delia's interior designer and exorcist friend from the original film. Um, So with writers Alfred Goh and Miles Miller devising the fiance as a character who everyone wanted to see getting his comeuppance like Otho and enjoying the idea of Lydia being in a weird codependent relationship, everyone sees it that way, herself included. So Goh and Miller wanted the audience to understand why Rory is with Lydia and he was a schmuck. But they felt that they needed to find Rory's humanity without him being a mere punchline. So once Justin Thoreau was cast and connected with the writers over Zoom, he provided Go and Miller with ideas they incorporated. So as we saw in the flashback, Beetlejuice did live during the Black Plague and grave robbed, which is incredible, and which is why he said he had a great time in the original film. So, one thing to keep an eye on is for the scenes in the underworld, the actors had to stand in a diagonal position because none of the floors were flat. If I remember correctly, that is a aspect of oh, what is it called? That is an aspect of German expressionism, which is what we saw in the silent era of films. Like they couldn't afford really lavish sets, so what they would do is um create their own stylized sets, which is why everything looks off kilter and it the geometry is off. And Tim Burton wanted to emulate that for this film. Another thing to keep an eye on is production designer Mark Scruton played with the rules established by the first film's production designer Bo Welch for the afterlife scenes. The distinctive force perspective tricks and tongue-in-cheek Easter eggs. New spaces that we'll see will include the Soul Train station, an immigration area, the dry cleaners, and the office of Wolf Jackson, Willem Dafoe. Jesus, that smile right there? She looked almost like what's that guy's name from SNL? Pete Davidson. Um, Scruton had studied production designer Scruton had studied 80s cop shows among other spaces. Quote, I was like a kid in a candy store with it, end quote, Scruton says. It was a once in a lifetime chance to work on something that I loved so much growing up. Oopsie. Gotta have a teen romance, right? Totally freaked out. God, that hair. We hit the hour mark now. Guys, if you could remember to hit the like button no matter which platform you're working on. It just helps on these platforms for this video to circulate around and end up in people's recommended feeds. And if you're watching on YouTube, if you could take to the chat and comment or excuse me, vote in the totem poll regarding what your film rating for the film is. Yeah, be sure to get permission. So we saw it briefly at the very beginning, but the operator in Beetlejuice's work department strongly resembled Mother Norma Bates from Psycho 1960. So I p- I previously mentioned this before, but just to elaborate, the fun suck. The decision to tell Beetlejuice's origin story in Italian was Tim Burton's, as he was inspired by the works of Federico Fellini. Burton said Beetlejuice's origin story was like the prologue to Fellini's movie. So it had to be told in black and white and Italian, and excuse me, with an overall style like those in Fellini's movies. In addition to that, Monica Bellucci is Italian, so it was fitting that Dolores was also Italian. Wow. Wow. What a cornball. Uh-oh. Is she gonna find out that her daughter's in troubles? Uh-oh. Oh boy. This could be a problem. Well, yeah, obviously. So before, when Lydia was getting group therapy, a sleight of hand was achieved with editing when Beetlejuice stitches Lydia's stitches shut Lydia's mouth. Winona had a prosthetic mouthpiece which she could clamp between her teeth and matched her flesh. Excuse me, matched her flesh and already had the stitches in there. She could pretend the action of being hit, put put it in her mouth, and do it again. Pause. And then the animators jump cutted to the two together. Damn. Ooh. Mm. That was an interesting twist. Well, Mom, you could have called her. So, in contrast to the dark color scheme embraced by the living trio of women, costume designer Colleen Atwood used a brighter color scheme for the dead residents in the underworld. Oh my god. Nice. What the hell is she doing? So, one of the first Afterlife waiting room patrons Tim Burton conceived for the sequel, as we just saw, was a hot dog eating contestant that ate himself to death, and he wanted to cast a real competitive eating champion in the role. He added, I was inspired by Joey Chestnut and his annual 4th of July hot dog eating contest and his wins. I actually wanted to get him to play that character, but he ooh, he was in training for another big 4th of July. So in respect and love, I still did the character. Really? Oh, those large Goomba-looking guys with the shrunken heads. Those are called shrinker characters. So like I said, in the film, they are fully practical. Inside the costumes are experienced creature performers, Paul Warren and Nick Kellington, to name but a few. The tiny heads are completely animatronic and are being remote controlled offset by puppeteers. What an idiot. Ouch. Mm, Gee. Nice. Jeez. I like how she just jumps in. I love how she just signs herself over to this. I saw this in the trailers. Brilliant. Oh god. So for the shrinkers, which have shrunken heads, minimal CGI was required. From day one, there was the idea that there would be this group of shrinkers, Tim Burton said. We're gonna do it entirely practical, and the effects team went, "Are you sure you won't need to augment or put a okay, everybody, get back to work." Yeah, they decided to bail. They were just like, anyway, um, oh my god, they really are bolting. Oh, so they were asking him, "Are you sure you won't need to augment or put a warp on an eyebrow or get an extreme look of shock in their faces?" But Tim Burton said, they weren't going to do any of that. The effects team, thought that physically they might not be able to run around very well. Burton said, "No, they'll be performers with raised, shoulders and animatronic heads sitting on top of them. The only thing the effects team did was add some CGI sweat on Bob's brow in one shot." This is great. So, designing costumes for the characters in the afterlife proved to be a collaborative effort with Tim Burton and makeup. They had to come up with different ways that characters had died and what that would look like. The looks varied from a person drowning while copying Houdini's water torture trick to some being overrun, or excuse me, some being run over by a car to someone being eaten by a shark. Quote, "You have to show how something happened, and you have to see it right away," costume designer Colleen Atwood said. Yeah, there you go. The water trick. Santa caught in a chimney. Cat lady. Both Caroline Laurie and Max Pemberton, who both worked with director Tim Burton on Wednesday, appear in the Netherworld waiting room as the crazy cat lady and the half of a surfer. Cat lady's sure to get a lot of recognition in 2024. Just ask JD Vance. Mhm. Uh-oh. Boy. What? She's mummified with a cat? Uh-oh. Oh my god. Uh-oh. Interestingly enough, Monica Bellucci only has 7 whole lines in the whole movie. Uh-oh, what did she find? I love how she's like a corpse bride slash bride of Frankenstein type. Uh-oh. Someone gets jealous easily. Good observation. Uh-oh. Here we go. So production designer Mark Scruton played with the rules established by the first film's production designer, Bo Welch, for the afterlife scenes. Oh wait, I already mentioned that. Incredible. So the first film used calypso music to showcase how lively, in chaotic ways, the afterlife is, in contrast to its deceased residents. The sequel uses disco music, Donna Summer's versions of MacArthur Park, and the Bee Gees tragedy, for largely the same purpose. Though the deader than disco pun is in effect. Also, the songs used, despite their peppy beat, are songs of sadness and melancholy. Incredible. So, these police officers are based off of '80s cop shows. And here we go. Lovely. Great throwback. And this is like another element that really needs to be praised, like how they'll have callbacks that come out of nowhere, and it's not like really? But like the references and the callbacks are cleverly used, you know what I mean? Oh boy. those really freaked me out as a kid because there's like it's a mouth around a head. Yeah, stuff of nightmares. Stop motion animation. Really? Well, this is a happy reunion, I suppose. Morbid as it is. No. So, um, so at the beginning, I neglected to mention the undead janitor is a slovenly man who drinks heavily and has a distaste for, as he refers to it, goddamn foreigners. The recently deceased in this case. Um, so it was like I said, it was. I'm sorry. It is very reminiscent of Danny DeVito's character Frank Reynolds from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and he makes those grunting noises as I mentioned previously to his penguin character in Batman Return. Oh my god. Batman Returns. I'm looking at this chick with a pool cue or a harpoon through her throat. Wow. He's always getting coffee. I love it. The interrogation. This is so stupid. So, back to Danny DeVito's character. At one point, he drinks toilet cleaner that makes dark liquid ooze from his mouth. As I said, reflecting Penguin's death from ingesting toxic sewer water. Director Tim Burton, cast frequent collaborator. Oh, hold on, we're gonna hit the hour 20-minute mark pretty soon. Anyway, yeah, director Tim Burton cast frequent collaborator Danny DeVito in the small role as the afterlife janitor to make the movie more personal, adding, "I asked Danny DeVito to do this because he's my friend. It's not a big thing. Hey Danny, will you play the janitor? It's not Shakespeare or anything." Hold on. We're gonna hit the hour 20 mark in three, two, one. Now, guys, if you could just hit the like button, no matter which platform you're watching this on. And if you are watching on YouTube, if you could vote in the totem poll what your film rating for the movie is, whether you've seen it before, what your film rating is, and if you are watching for the first time, what do you think of the movie so far? So, this is Tim Burton to Danny DeVito. He said that the role, it's not Shakespeare or anything, but because this movie is so special to me, having people around me when it works, when it's right, was very important. It was just another element for me to make it feel like a personal movie for me. Uh-oh. Yeah. Everybody's interested in this. Uh-oh. No, not Bob. God, what his breath must smell like. Jesus. Ew, gross. So, in the first film, Beetlejuice claims his former wife meant nothing to him when he pulls out her severed ring finger. In this film, it's oh no. Well, thanks for stopping by, I guess. Yeah, yeah, imagine walking around in a location like that or on a set like that where nothing is a straight line. So yeah, like I was saying, in the first film, Beetlejuice claims his former wife meant nothing to him when he pulls out her severed ring finger. In this film, it's revealed Dolores married him so she could murder him and claim his soul for immortality. So it was actually the other way around. He meant nothing to her. This film also reveals how and why her finger was severed. Additionally, when Dolores is reassembling herself, the severed finger is the last piece she reattaches. So a brief shot of this of the station board above the Afterlife Express reveals that the final afterlife option in this universe consists of the Great Beyond, the Pearly Gates, the Fiery Inferno, and the Elysium Fields. One of the wanted posters that I briefly saw during Dolores's rampage, the Afterlife police have put up wanted posters for her, which start with "Wanted dead or alive." Ouch! Oh my god! Very dramatically. Ah! Oh my god! And he spills the beans. Oh my god! Damn. Ah! Ah! And oopsie. How about this for a filter? That is great. Oh my god. So, this was another late edition, this influencer sequence, in which people get sucked into their smartphones. The effects team, um, were dealing with whether they should make it look like sculpted plastic because because that's what, they did in the original. Oh my god. Because that's what was used in the original film, but ultimately they went for a half and half, aiming for photoreal, but having some staccato animation of the original stop motion. So as we Forward here to the wedding. The red tuxedo that Beetlejuice wears at the wedding is not only the same style as the one he donned in the original film, it's the exact same piece of wardrobe from the original movie. Tim Burton added, quote, "The tuxedo in the wedding scene was his original tuxedo. Michael, I think he called Warner Brothers and they had it, which is interesting. For Michael, it was a big deal. The tuxedo also still fitted according to Burton. My God. Get Oh my God. So, get this. Michael Keaton and Winona have said that their favorite sequence to film was the wedding dance scene. Ryder especially loved Ryder especially loved staring into Keaton's quote, gorgeous eyes. God, this is epic. They are absolutely throwing everything but the kitchen sink. Oh my God. Was she just twerking on the cake? Really? Oh my God. This doesn't end. Dear God. So while this is going on, wh- oh my God, that is terror. That is nightmare fuel. Anyway, Monica Bellucci said that the role of Dolores required movement described as quote almost like a horror dancing. It took 2 to 3 days to film her movement for a specific scene. Idiot. God, the white shoes. Incredible. Oh my God. Monica Bellucci, I think I mentioned this before. She only has 7 lines in the entire movie. Despite that, she said that the makeup process was extensive, taking 3 hours each day to create. What the hell? Shoved himself right into the cake. Stupid. Uh-oh. Oh, I love this movie. Put together. Uh-oh. Stupid. What do they got up their sleeve, I wonder? Uh-oh. Hey, don't copy Corpse Bride where you're trading spouses. Uh-oh, trapdoor. This is so this is incredible. Well, damn. Yeah. Better make a run for it, Padre. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh no. What the hell? What is happening? Oh man, we only got like 10 more minutes left of the movie. Like now I'm mad that it's not 2 hours long. Oh man. Ah, I'm glad that they didn't overdo it with with Beetlejuice because they could have gone overboard. Oh god, the coffee. What? What an idiot. Wow. It's incredible. My god. I did not think that I'd be laughing this much, man. This is really great. Um, let's see. Oh God, really? Here we go. So the film carries over the original story point that individuals who take their own lives have to spend their eternal afterlife serving as civil servants. But there is ambiguity as to how this is applied to individuals who accidentally kill themselves. For example, Wolf Jackson died when a movie stunt involving a hand grenade went wrong, and while he's working full time in the afterlife, it's doing something he greatly enjoys, running the police force, playing a little loosey goosey with the rule book. Oh man, I want another half hour of this movie. Ah, a magical lesson for us all. Well said. Really? Jesus. That guy really does look like a vampire. uh, what? That was a quick transition. No, seriously, this guy does look like he could be vampiric. Almost looks like Loki. Oh, we're just jumping all over the place. Hopefully, she doesn't give birth to to whatever Lydia gave birth to, that Beetlejuice looking thing. My God, does Winona Ryder not age at all? And what do we got? Come on, it's got to be bet. I told you. Did I call that or what? Oh my God, yo, this is a PG movie. That's not traumatizing in the least. Oh my God, it's bug eyes. Wow. God, what a nightmare to have. Incredible. Oh man. I man, what a great watch. Damn. I had a lot of fun watching this. Let's see.
And now his watch is ended.
Now his watch is ended.
And now their watch is ended.
So, let me wrap up a couple of trivia notes that I wanted to get to before we close this bad boy out. So, following the unexpected success of the original film, there were several attempts to make a follow-up in the years since, but director Tim Burton wasn't compelled to do one until now, adding, quote, "This movie took 35 years in the making. There was a lot of talk about sequels early on, but nothing ever really felt right for me. There was something that I couldn't quite relate to. Part of the reason I think is because I never really understand the success of never understood the success of the first one anyway. It was a surprise to me. Somebody said do a sequel, but I didn't really have a vine of what it would be. Not until now, basically, did it really hit me. It really stemmed from the fact that I connected with the Lydia character as a teenager. So I just thought, well, what happened to her 35 years later? Somebody you thought was cool or interesting, what happened to them? Where are they now? It wasn't until Burton began exploring the dynamic between the Deetz women that he found his personal anchor to the story. The idea of seeing three generation of Deetz women, mother, daughter, granddaughter, that was the anchor for me. That was the thing that made me really interested. It made it personal for me, but it's not a sequel. I could have done in 1989 or something. This only could happen after time, after you go through your own journey. It was important for both director Tim Burton and Michael Keaton for the sequel to maintain the spirit of the original production. Burton said, Michael Keaton, and I talked about it on and off over the years, and I don't think he ever had any burning desire to do another one, only if it felt right. It just felt right for me and then for him. Doing practical effects, keeping it, like we did, shooting in that spirit, shooting it quickly, keeping all the energy going, that was very important. Those are the kinds of things we talked about. They try to utilize practical effects as much as possible. Burton further added, quote, "One thing that both Michael and I talked about and the studio, I said, look, you can do anything with CG, but we don't want to do anything. Practical effects were important. So we did it with everything. We really did, except for the sandworms, which were stop motion. Burton added, he wouldn't have done this movie if Michael or Catherine or Winona had said no to it. It wouldn't have happened. I didn't want to recast it or redo it. This was the story that was important for me. So, producer Brad Pitt was originally supposed to cameo as a ghost in the Netherworld waiting room, whom had been shot in the head, implying that he's the ghost of Chad Feldheimer, the his character from Burn After Reading from 2008, who died this way, but he was unable to film it due to scheduling conflict. Get this, Christopher Walken was originally offered the role of Wolf Jackson before it was given to Willem Dafoe. I could have gone for that. Danny DeVito, the janitor, was one of many actors considered to play Beetlejuice before Michael Keaton was cast in the original. So how about that? Monica Bellucci commented on how the role was far unlike any character she's ever played at this point in her career, going on to mention how much she loves playing the part. While Dolores might be an antagonist, Bellucci appreciates how she's a survivor. Even if she's in the netherworld, Dolores is a real baddie, and more important, I this is her speaking. I think about her as a creature, Bellucci said. What I liked about her is this duality because she's dangerous but also funny at the same time. Tim Burton came to me and he told me there was a key role in this film for which I thought about you, and I was very happy to accept it and play it because to me, Dolores is a metaphor for life because we all have emotional scars and she's full of scars, but she's strong. She's coming back. Bellucci added, I didn't play many characters like that in my career, so for me, it was a completely new character. And I have to say that I was I'm sorry. I have to say that I loved her. I really loved her, and I was so helped because, um, I had 3 hours of makeup every day, and to go on this amazing set, and to wear those beautiful costumes of Colleen Atwood, and I think that she has a big impact. She's a survivor, even though she's always in the netherworld. Even though she's, dead, she's still alive. Jenna Ortega revealed that Justin Theroux, the guy that plays her stepdad, was one of the hardest people to work with because he kept making her burst out laughing and break character. And Justin shared that Catherine O'Hara, who plays Delia, was the one that made him constantly break character. So the budget for this film is estimated at 150 million. The budget for the first film was just 15 million in 1988 dollars. When adjusted for inflation, that would be 15 million would only be 39 million in 2024, meaning that the budget for Beetlejuice was nearly 4 times the budget for the first film. So here's the point in time where, in case anyone is still wants to keep the good times rolling, I recommend films that are in the same vein, pun very much intended, of the movie that we just watched.
There's a formula to it. A very simple formula.
Make it a blockbuster, right?
So, movies along the line of Beetlejuice, other than obviously the original, is Hocus Pocus, The Addams Family, and The Witches. More modern films, along with The Nightmare Before Christmas, would be Paranorman and Coraline. So my takes on this movie. I mean, wow, I'm really impressed. I mean, again, we hold these films so near and dear to our heart that we become very protective of them, and we just want to make sure that that whatever shape these delayed sequels take, that care is given to them, that it's not just a cash grab, it's not just a nostalgia trip, but this was a nostalgia trip in a really great way. And when I was doing research for this watch party, um, again, like we're always weary of like, okay, why are you doing it now? Why is it that you're revisiting this dare I say property or IP now after and especially after 30 years? But I have to agree with Tim Burton. I think that like and look, I'm not a creator, I'm a critic. But I have to imagine that, time away is what allowed like a refresher, you know what I mean? Like recharging your batteries when it came to wanting wanting to write for this character. You need time away, and look, 30 years is a long time, but I just imagine everyone involved needed, to do other projects. Tim Burton, obviously, with his comeback with Wednesday. Look at everything that Winona Ryder has done, more recently with Stranger Things. Michael Keaton with his resurgence after Birdman and playing a Spider-Man villain. It's a reunion to be able to come back to this, and my god, they even though it had been so much time, they really did not skip a beat. I mean, the quirkiness, the flashback in Italian narration, um, the afterlife being more explored and not repetitive or boring or derivative of the first film. The couples therapy, the Willem Dafoe's character as an actor who thinks that he's a cop, always being handed coffee. Oh my god, it's really great stuff, man. But you can't do that by immediately just churning out another sequel, you know what I mean? You have to have time away from it, I imagine. And I imagine you have to like miss these characters, miss this world. Um and I mean the use of music, both old and new, was great. Yeah, the ending was a bit derivative with the sandworms and a wedding, but it was still handled well. I would have liked to have seen more of Monica Bellucci's character. I would have liked to have seen more movie, and that is not a knock. I started this watch party saying that, man, wow, it's less than 2 hours. I'm so used to movies running like 2.5 hours after the Marvel effect. But watching this movie, we're winding up. It's an hour and a half in. We only got 10 minutes in. I'm like, no, I want more. No, oh man, we're wrapping up so soon. But I mean, I really have to give it to them, man. I just everything that we saw in the level of imagination, the humor in it. I don't remember like I've seen horror comedies during the watch party, or me and Tramadom would make fun of like our very first watch party when we were just mocking relentlessly the Prey movie. I'm not above mockery of these types of movies, but I was pleasantly surprised with what I saw, what was on display here. I laughed. This movie had an emotional core to it. I loved that they went practical and it's not like a CGI just exploitation because that can get old. But man, my hat goes off. I'm really happy I got to see this. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. I mean, like I said during the watch party, I am a firm believer that we need dark fantasy, we need PG horror, we need the gateway horror, and we need like quirky concepts. I always say that, what happened to just oddball beyond just crazy out of left field concepts like Earthworm Jim or Ghostbusters or Ninja Turtles, you know what I mean? Just out of the box out of the box thinking. Just throw the craziest ideas that you could possibly think of and make it work. And I think that if horror did that, it would be in a much better place, especially feeding into um that or playing into, children as a demographic. And I hope that people learn the lesson from that. So, I give this an absolute win. This was a really great reunion for the cast. This was a really great watch party. I'm so glad that for me, this watch party, the very first watch party of the month, Christmas came early. So I will ask that you guys subscribe to my Clips channel, Mind's Eye Incisions. I do ask that you subscribe to my Rumble as well as my Kick channel. I'm trying to get all three of those off the ground. So, now is the point in time where we come to what is on the scene for the Mind's Eye. Thank you, Pennywise. So, this weekend, I'll be doing a precaution and aftershock for the Werewolves film tomorrow. So, that's my preview and reaction videos before the movie starts and fresh from the theater. Wasn't gonna watch this movie, but it has been getting a lot of not a lot, but some measure of buzz. Some people are saying it's fun. It obviously is a B movie. So I said, you know what? I'll give it a shot. I'm not gonna rail on it too much, even though I'll get to my thoughts on it, but I'll give it a shot. So I'll go to watch it tomorrow. I'll do a live preview of it and a live reaction right when I get home from the theater. And on Sunday, I'm going to do an overcast for the Horror Game Award nominees in preparation for next week's awards show. So now let's take a look at coming attractions. Um, this is the Beetlejuice watch party. This is but the first of many Friday watch parties every Friday in December. And let me give you guys a sneak peek of what I'm talking about. So, it just so happens that there are numerous films that are debuting this month or that I wanted to get to. But I absolutely have a jam-packed watch party. Like I said, every Friday of the month will be a watch party of either a debuting movie or a debuting feature, I should say, or a watch party that I want to do in preparation of something else. And one movie in particular that I've been meaning to get to for 2 years now, believe it or not. So today we wrapped, obviously Beetlejuice. I ask that you join me next Friday for the premiere of the Dexter Original Sin, which Dexter's my favorite show of all time. This will be the first time I get to live stream a or do a watch party for the debuting episode of the debuting prequel show. The Friday before Christmas, I will be doing a watch party of the Nosferatu film in preparation for the Nosferatu remake on the way, which debuts on Christmas. And technically, I'll be watching the only Christmas horror film 2 days after Christmas to close out the month of December as well as the year of 2024 with The Mean One. I've been wanting to catch that for a minute. And now I have the opportunity to do so. So, with that being said, let's see. Next week will be a busy one for Inkarnate. Tuesday marks the return of the Winter Stream Warning, which is a 4-month season streaming special during the cold months, and I'll be playing winter horror themed games all month long, or all season long, I should say. So this was a bit of a toss up. I could either because we had not only two great horror games that debuted that are debuting this month, one of which was yesterday, but they both happen to be remasters. So because for whatever reason, Night Dive Studio was playing fast and loose with the release of John Carpenter's The Thing game remastered, I decided to go with Legacy of Kain up first. I absolutely could not miss out on the opportunity to play that game. Now, um, that doesn't mean that The Thing remaster is going to be off of the winter stream warning. No. That we will pick up next month, next year. So for December, uh, I will be playing Legacy of Kain all month long, every Tuesday of the month, and we're gonna pick up with the Thing remastered in January. So this Tuesday is the return of Mind Games live stream and the official kickoff of the winter stream warning with Legacy of Kain. This Thursday, I will be doing an overcast live stream of the Game Awards. So I'll be doing my reaction to the live show. And most likely, I've heard that it's rumored that they're going to debut the trailer of Resident Evil 9. I guess it's a wait and see, but we'll see what other announcements they make within the realm of horror. Friday, like I mentioned, I'll be watching the Dexter Original Sin, which I previously mentioned. And let me think. Saturday will be the Horror Game Awards Overcast, so I'll be doing a live reaction to that as well. So that pretty much wraps everything that I have going on. I do ask that you join me for the watch parties. I do ask that you join me for the live streams that I have coming up this weekend, this upcoming week. I have a jam-packed week, month, and wrap up to the year. So I do invite you all back. Hopefully, I'll do some testing so that I don't start so late like I did today. Just OBS was not cooperating, but that's pretty much for me. So with that being said, mark your calendars and say your prayers. I've been Inkarnate, offering a word of caution. Fear the worst, so long you recognize who's best.
If you're resigned to your fate, time to subscribe to your fears.
Warn your friends. Warn